Forced vaccination law has been passed in Denmark. Denmark passes law enabling forced coronavirus vaccinations. Article coming out on March 17th, 2020. Law was passed on Thursday, March 12th, 2020. Denmark has passed an emergency law that allows for the government to force people to take a vaccine for coronavirus. The emergency law gives authorities sweeping powers to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic and will remain in force until March 2021. Citizens who refuse to be tested for the coronavirus will face fines and potential prison time and will be prevented from entering shops, grocery stores, public institutions, and hospitals, while also being restricted from using public transport. As well as enforcing quarantine measures, the law also allows the authorities to force people to be vaccinated even though there is currently no vaccination for the virus. Copenhagen University law professor Jens Ritter said the new law measures were certainly the most extreme since the Second World War. The initial draft of the law was even more draconian and would have allowed police to enter private homes without a warrant if there was a suspicion of a coronavirus infection.
Hi guys, so I just want to talk a little bit more about the Mark of the Beast. I just had a video a couple days ago about the ID 2020 and the forced mandatory vaccinations that they're planning to roll out within the next several months. Please watch that video if you have not yet. It's very informative. And I just want to have a little discussion about some things that have been churning in my own mind about this. They are now coming out with laws in some European places that vaccines will become mandatory. You can't buy, sell, trade without it. Very interesting wording they have there, and imprisonment and all kinds of things. And I'm sure they're going to roll that out soon within a lot of countries over the next month or two. I wouldn't be surprised. I've been thinking a lot about the Mark of the Beast and how it says that it's going to be a mark on your right hand or forehead. And I just want to throw out an idea, and you guys let me know what you think of it. The word used there for right hand is dexios, and it can mean right side, the right side, like the right arm. And then the forehead. You know, everywhere I go in the country where I'm living right now, I can't go anywhere without them putting some device to my forehead and taking my temperature. I can't get into any building. I can't go anywhere. It's everywhere. So even when if I try to pass a certain road, there's blockades, and I have to stop my vehicle, roll down my window, and let them scan my forehead. I'm just wondering if John was seeing a vision of the future and doing his best in his day to describe what he was seeing. You know, if he was seeing people being given these shots in the right arm, and if he was seeing everywhere you go, they will be putting this device to your forehead and scanning your forehead, and in his understanding that it was like you can't go anywhere unless you have this thing in your arm or something on your forehead. It's just an idea that, you know, I've always thought that it would probably be like a tattoo that they put on your hand or your forehead to prove that you've had the vaccination, to prove that you've had a chip inserted somehow into your body. But now I'm wondering if it's actually just that John was describing a vision, like the Lord actually allowed him to see into the future, and he was actually seeing people being forcibly vaccinated in the right arm, and everywhere they went their temperatures were being taken. And in his abilities at that time, he was simply describing that if you don't have this thing in your right hand or right arm and something to do with your forehead, then you can't buy or sell or trade. So the wording that was used in the bill that just passed in Denmark talks about buying and selling. You can't buy groceries or do anything without a forced vaccination. So you guys watch out. Don't take the mark. Don't take the vaccine, especially if it comes out anytime in less than a year, because if they roll it out within less than a year. It hasn't had long-term testing. Any vaccination that they haven't done long-term testing for is very dangerous, because basically what a vaccine is putting a small dose of the disease into your body with the hope that your body will build up an immunity to it. But since this is supposedly a new virus that nobody knows anything about, or that's what they're saying, putting a small amount of that disease into everybody on Earth's body without knowing long-term side effects or if it'll really work in the long run is extremely dangerous, and many people believe that this vaccine will actually kill far more people than the disease itself. So watch out if they try to come out with something that say it's mandatory, that if you don't do this you could face in prison, or you won't be able to buy or sell or trade or do anything like that. That is the mark of the beast. I'm telling you right now, I believe very much that John was seeing a vision and describing what he was seeing. So you guys watch out for this. We are now in the day of the Lord. We are almost halfway through. Night is about to fall. Night is coming when no man can work, and you can see it everywhere now. Everything is shutting down, and already most people cannot work, at least in the country where I'm living, and of course many countries in Europe and Asia, and soon in the United States. The Lord gave us a tremendous clue when he said night is coming when no man can work. He was letting us know this is a sign when you start seeing everything shut down and people can't work any longer, that night is about to fall. But we are still living in the day, and while it is day, we will do the work of him who sent the Lord to minister on the Sabbath day. The Lord was still working and healing the sick. So exciting times that we live in. So keep your eyes on this forced vaccination and the information about the ID 2020. And if you find out more information, please send it my way. God bless you guys.